Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, back to do day 3 of my 12 Days of Christmas. Today I'm going to be taking a look at The Children. Now, The Children is a 2008 film which runs approximately 84 minutes and is written and directed by Tom Shanklin. Now, Tom Shanklin is responsible for one episode of Iron Fist, one episode of Luke Cage, and a movie that's out on Dimension Extreme called The Killing Gene, which I do believe has Selma Blair in it. I do own it. It's been a while since I've watched it, but I remember liking it. Not quite as much as this movie, but I do remember liking it a bit. Now, I'm not really going to be focusing on the actors too much because they're basically a bunch of no-name actors. The only one who I did recognize, because I've seen this a few times, is Hannah Toynton, who plays Casey. Kind of the main young girl, or teenager, if you will. I recognize her from Penny Dreadful, which is a series, I believe it was on Showtime or HBO, but I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. Now, The Children has a bit of a backstory with me. One of the movies that I had always wanted to see, I do own it now on DVD, and I've seen it and really enjoyed it. But one of the movies I always wanted to see that got past me was the 1980s The Children. It's from 1980 and it is a trauma film. And we have Comcast here, and I have a DVR. So when you look on like the descriptions and everything, and look for something to DVR, they were playing it on cable. And I DVR'd it 2 separate times. Well, they goofed. And it kind of irritated me a bit because it was kind of like a bad goof and a good goof at the same time. The bad goof is, it wasn't the 1980s The Children. It was this movie right here. The good goof is, it did introduce me to this film, which I really do love. And let me tell you something, guys. This film is brutal. Very, very much brutal. Definitely not for the squeamish, and if you do have children, it'll kind of hit you where you live. But I'm going to get into a brief synopsis of this film. A sister is visiting another sister. They both have families. The sister that's visiting has a second husband and 3 kids. And the sister that she's visiting has a husband and I think they also have 3 kids, if I'm not mistaken. 2 or 3 kids. And one of the children that is visiting has sort of like a flu and is acting very strangely. And for those of us who have kids, one kid gets it, chances are the rest of them are going to get it too, on separate times, because they cough into their hand, they sneeze all over the place, and, you guys know how it is that have children, but it spreads really easy. And the kids start acting very strangely. I'm going to kind of leave it there. Now, an interesting thing about this film is it was nominated for the 2009 Fright Meter Award for Best Horror Movie. I can definitely see that. Like I said, I did want to see the 1980 version of The Children, and this is not a remake by any chance. But I am really glad that this was on there by mistake because, like I said, it introduced me to a great film. And the one sister is visiting the other sister on Christmas time, which is your whole Christmas element right there. This is a very high recommendation. One of the things I always thought that was neat about these films, and they're not all like this, but they have this like clear ghost house sort of sleeve over top of it. I always thought that was kind of neat. A lot of mine actually have this. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones that have it. Last House in the Woods, which is another really, really good brutal film. And Dance of the Dead, I believe, has that too. But yeah, I thought the packaging was really cool in this. Just something small about it. But anyway, I'm gonna give this one an 8.5. It's not for the squeamish. I'll just put it that way. It's definitely not for the squeamish. So 8.5. That's my rating. And if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.